Hello. Happy Friday. How's it going, everyone? I'm just going to keep doing these without an intro until I create another one because for some reason, even though I like paid for the music for years, I got like demonetization flags on that. So I decided it's just best to just not do that and like not deal with the hassle of those things. But I'm having a great time today. I had a great stream with Bone Bridger, John Automeats, and the Doolies. Andy was there. Katie was not, unfortunately, but we had a good conversation. So you can always check that out on Bone Bridger's channel. Um, and yeah, we're going to talk about like I have not had a lot of time to go to the film to the movies and see the films that I'd like to see. My work schedule is just so insane. So I have been though catching up on some TV, and I thought we could talk about that instead. Um, and I'm hopefully, yeah, you guys can hear me, you guys. That's good. Just checking because I've had problems with that in the past. So I'm gonna start off by sharing just a I have only seen the first episode of the new season, but I figured I'd get that going to start off. If I can get it there, then I can make it anywhere. Sorry, it's been a week. Okay, so we're gonna start first with You season 5. It is the final season of this series. I've been a fan for a long time. Um, and I do not know how it's going to play out. I don't know what the reception is. I don't I think we've talked about this before. Like I don't think there's any way to not kill his character off. Kind of like Breaking Bad. But as far, as the first episode went, it was kind of a good, introduction back into the series. There is like this quirky manic pixie girl, dream girl, that is in his bookstore Moonies, and he's kind of like, oh, I shouldn't sell this just because my wife wants to sell this bookstore that I love. Um, I obviously, I don't know. I feel like with Joe, like we talked about this last week, just briefly. His wife, I don't feel like is someone we would ever have had imagined him being obsessed with. But maybe it is just the affluent lifestyle, and he is a protector, and that's why he's with her. But I don't necessarily see the chemistry as we've like seen it with other women that he's murdered on this series. So, but like looking at this post on Twitter, Ricardo says after 7 years of watching the show and seeing all of Joe's craziness, Penn Badgley's acting on the last episode still left me mind blown. I just can't imagine anyone else playing this character. Give him all the awards. Now they're not going to give him any awards for a show like You, but Penn Badgley is a very good actor, and I think knowing that it ends again, I have not seen it. I've only seen the first episode. That's pretty cool. I think I actually think a lot of people don't realize how popular this show is until you see the viewership and Netflix viewership. And it was a show that was on Lifetime for one season, and they were going to get rid of it because this is not the Lifetime demographic at all. It is way more of a Dexter or Breaking Bad type of demographic. So the people that watch Dahmer, stuff like that. So not Lifetime. So Netflix swooped in, and then season 2, I believe, moving forward, they did decide to produce it and take full, control over the show. And I'm glad they did because there's been some really phenomenal episodes of television with this series. So I wasn't going to spend a lot of time on it just because I've only seen the first episode so far, but I will keep you posted as we go along with it. And we're going to move on to a couple other television series, but I'm going to watch another episode tonight. So I'll watch season 2 tonight and see. I don't think that this is not a spoiler, but I just don't think that the girl that shows up in his bookstore, I don't think that that's going to be his new obsession. I just don't really see that happening. Maybe more of like a confidant, someone who literally knows that bookstore, knows who he is, knows about Beck probably from season 1 and the book that she wrote, even though we all know he wrote it. So I don't really think that that's going to be his new love interest. I wonder what happened though to his friends in New York though. Like it's kind of strange to me if we think about it, because he in the first 2 seasons, I think maybe season 1 was just in New York, and then season 2 he moved to LA. Neither here nor there. He had like at least one really good friend that worked at the bookstore with him, and I'm surprised that that's kind of just being dropped they kind of like willy-nilly were like, oh, Joe's allowed back in New York again with his full name and everything. And it's like, oh, is he? Okay. Because everyone was really suspicious that he like murdered a girl. So I guess that's fine. But yes, let's get into the chat and then we'll move on to the next series we're going to talk about. Max is here. Thanks so much. Yeah, there's some there is really great TV on right now. So I will get to the movies when I get to them. I like the summertime, they usually tend to keep films in theaters for a longer amount of time. Like I still want to see Sinners really badly, and I'm happy they're expanding, all their, the IMAX theaters. They're not going to just take them away for Thunderbolts. And I do want to see Thunderbolts as well, amongst a ton of movies that are coming out this summer. So I will make that work, but I might just not get to them right away as I used to. Luke, how's it going? Oh, nice to see you. I know I want to collab on your stream again soon. I've just had no time at all. I wish I could though. But hopefully soon in the near future things might be changing. So I don't want to put anything out in the universe, but hopefully that will be good for the better. But thanks so much for stopping by. Yes, everyone's saying hi. David, so nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. It's nice to see everyone here. Terrace House Guy, hey, how's it going? You binged all of you and you loved it. Yeah, I started I think when season 3 came out, I believe, and I just binged the first 2 seasons so quickly, and I was like, oh my god, the show's so good. And a lot of people I was working with at the time were watching it as well. That's a show that keeps you on your toes, which I really like. Planning to see Thunderbolts this weekend. I've been very busy this weekend. It's been kind of stressful, so hopefully seeing that will help. Yeah, you just need to get into like a dark theater and like watch a movie and escape for a little while. Like that's what movies are for. And I also do think like psychologically, yes, a lot of times it's easier to stay at home and stream something and stream a movie, but I think physically going to a theater, sitting down, and just kind of escaping in that form is also really positive psychologically, because you're not just like at home in your own thing, what you do every day. And I do think it is kind of like it's like a little nice push, and I think you feel a bit more of a reward and enjoy watching something a little bit more too. But there are people that hate going to the theater, and I'm not talking about that demographic. I'm just saying in general, if we're talking about streaming versus going to the theater. Wait, how far are you, NFG? This is when I was talking about you, which is still on the screen. I've only seen the first episode of the last season, so season 5. I've seen all of you except for the new season, so I just started it. I'm excited to see where it goes. You has me hooked, so bittersweet. Yeah, I know, because you want him to get away with everything, which is really effed up. You're like, oh yeah, like we can't have Joe get in trouble, like and it's like, oh, but I love that. I love a good charismatic villain. I remember when the show came out originally, and I was like, it's just like how you love Heath Ledger's Joker, or you love Alex in Clockwork Orange. Like Alex in Clockwork Orange is a great example. Like you are rooting for him, and you're so happy at the end of Clockwork Orange when he's like back to being evil again, which is like crazy. But I love that. I love it. I think it really makes you think about humanity and what you think about yourself. And I don't know. It's weird. That's like not normal like behavior though. Like you wouldn't be rooting for someone that's doing this, I guess the closest is like Luigi right now. Like how Luigi has such a huge fan base after assassinating the United Healthcare person, CEO. I think that's kind of a very good example of rooting for someone who did like a horrible thing, because like you kind of feel like it was justified. I'm not saying that I do. I'm kind of neutral on it, but I kind of understand both sides of that very well. I could see why he has some hardcore fans, because the healthcare system in this country sucks. I've been meaning to catch a screening of Pride and Prejudice, but the only day that works is Tuesday. Pride and Prejudice, like a new one? Like I did not know. Is there a Pride and Prejudice coming out that I don't know anything about? I'm gonna look into that, David. I feel like I only saw the one with Keira Knightley and the guy from Succession. I love him, McFadden. Okay, season 5 is a definite return to form. Found the British season a bit off. Yeah. And I think it's definitely because of the main actress. I liked a lot how they dealt with the British elite, because it's actually very different from the United States. It's a smaller cult, and it's kind of like they really do care about what people think of them, the press, like everything you saw in that season with where he's hanging out with the richest people of London seems to track of what actually happens there. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you had a bunch of like celebrities in LA or New York, and like but it was much smaller, and like every single thing about you was nitpicked, and like you had to be very conscientious, and like yeah, they're very socially aware, and it's a very big priority for them. So I think that they did nail that aspect of it. I just didn't love the lead actress. She's a good actress, you know. It's really a superficial thing for me, which isn't really that fair, but it is a TV show, so it is kind of superficial. So as a normie who watched Thunderbolts, found it super fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I really, really am. And we're talking about 3 TV shows, and then I'm going to bring up um, someone that ranks all of the most recent, what do they call it? I want to say era, but there's like an actual term for it. So like if you went to like Disney Plus, and it's like, I don't want to say year 1, it's phase. It's phase. So like this is the end of a phase apparently. So and they ranked them, and I'd like to know what you guys think about this ranking, because I haven't seen it yet. I'm avoiding any spoilers, but I know your opinion on the ending for You season 5 once you're done. Okay. Oh yeah, I will absolutely. I mean, it's an end of an era. 20th anniversary of, I'm not sure what that's for. Oh, of Pride and Prejudice. Okay, 20th anniversary of that. With the Keira Knightley one? Yeah. Wow, yeah, that is crazy. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess, right? Oh wow, I forgot to join until now. Oh, it's okay. No one needs to ever apologize. I'm glad there's people here, and even if there weren't, I'd probably just be going off about these things anyway. So thank you so much though for joining me, because it does make it more fun. We're gonna jump from talking about You, and we are going to talk about Black Mirror, because I just watched the new episode. If you don't like Black Mirror, I apologize, but we're going to talk about it briefly, and then we'll be moving on to the rehearsal. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry, that's You again. Penn Badgley, we've seen enough of you for right now. Let's go to stop. This is so weird. I'm so not used to having multiple links, and then here we are. Stop screen. Okay. And now we're going to share another screen. Okay. I did for a while have like like slides prepared, but I just have not had the time to do that. And I should though, because it makes it a lot easier. We're going to talk about the newest episode of Black Mirror, which is Hotel Reverie. This was a film lover's nightmare. This episode takes place in a world where there's a new technology, and to remake a film from like the 40s, you can just have a new actress go in, and then she can play the role of whoever, and everyone in this AI superficial world while they're filming it, cloud type of scenario, is interacting with her as those actors, but they don't know they're actors. They just think they're real people. So I know it sounds really kind of complicated, but it's definitely a commentary on Hollywood making remakes over and over and over and over and over again to death. So this episode is, is Aquafina was in this, and I know a lot of people find her really annoying. This was the most toned down Aquafina I've seen, and I thought she was really good, except for the indie film that she was in that was really good. She was fine. No issues there. I don't have really any big issues with this episode at all, except for it was slightly too slow for me. But I did enjoy it. It is kind of a crazy scenario of where we could be going in the future with AI and movie making and remakes. Issa Rae's character is a popular actor of the time, and she's approached to be in a remake of like her favorite film from the 40s that she loves. So it's like, I don't know, what's a good example? It's like if I'll use Sydney Sweeney as an example. It's like if Sydney Sweeney was asked to be in a shot-for-shot Casablanca remake. But the weird thing is, no one else is recast. It's just the actor. So like this is kind of like Hollywood at its most desperate trying to be like, well, people will pay to see the movie everyone loves with another new actor that everyone also loves too, interacting with these people. But there's glitches, and then this is no spoilers. These are no spoilers, but Emma Corrin, who plays the actress in the film, becomes a lot more sentient and remembers like who she was as an actual person, like as an actress. And during this glitch, there's like this bond going on. It's very similar to San Junipero. And I like that this guy said, Hotel Reverie isn't quite up there with San Junipero, but it's close. That's definitely how I feel, because I think San Junipero is pretty much perfect. I think that, again, the pacing of this was very slow, but there's so much genius in this as well, that I can't help but also just fully appreciate what they did. They totally nailed the look of films that were done in the 1940s, the vibe, aesthetic. There's so much with like the Casablanca aesthetic going on. But yes, this season has been like, to me, like a solid 9 out of 10 so far with the first 3 episodes I've seen. I can't wait to watch more. I'm gonna hit the chat and see what you guys are saying, but I've been thoroughly enjoying it for sure. Terrace House Guy says, "Whoo, Black Mirror." Yeah, I agree. I have mixed feelings on Hotel Reverie. I thought it was an insane potential, but it needed about 20 to 30 minutes trimmed up. Yes, a lot of potential to go down the Severance reanimation route. I haven't seen Severance yet, and I need to, and I will definitely be doing that. But yes, the time, the runtime is the biggest issue, and it's not even like the runtime. I guess it's just the pacing of everything, because I think the first episode was really long, but I didn't feel the time at all. That one like flew by, but maybe I'm misremembering, and it was only like 50 minutes instead of like 120. I still like the ending. Yeah, the ending was great. The ending is great. And if anyone doesn't know what like the San Junipero premise is, it's essentially like we've created with technology heaven. Like when you're dying, you're able to upload your consciousness into the cloud, and you can live in any timeline, any like era that you want, even if you weren't there for. Like you can like just have a fun life partying as a 20-year-old, and when like whatever you want to do, like you're able to do that. And it's like bittersweet. The character dealing with that, she's testing it out, and she's torn because her daughter, like horrifically, like out of nowhere, I think was hit by a car or something and died as like a child. And she is toying with the fact that like her husband decided not to upload his consciousness to the cloud because he thought it wasn't fair because their daughter wasn't able to. So it's very interesting. But San Junipero in general is literally us creating heaven, like as a fact, instead of just letting our consciousness, I think it's just consciousness, kind of disappear. So fascinating stuff, and things to think about. But this is also there's a lot of parallels between this episode as well. Yes, okay, so we just got there. I still like the ending. Oh, is a nightmare. Yeah. She was good in Renfield. See, I didn't see Renfield. Emma Corrin, the last time I saw her was in Deadpool Wolverine. She was great in that. I think she's a fantastic actress. I love the scene where the dead actress walked into the void. It was so eerie. Yes. Yeah, that was great. Loved that. It was so Westworldy. It was very Westworldy. That's a great thing to equate it to. San Junipero is most people's favorite, including mine, up there with Hang the DJ. Hang the DJ is great. I mean, there's just so much. Black Mirror is just so goddamn good. Doolies, how's it going? I'm so happy you're here to join me. Nice to see you. Q Belinda Carlisle's Heaven is a Place on Earth. Excellent track for yeah, very true. Yeah, exactly. They're creating their own. I mean, we might get there, guys. I know that sounds crazy, but the way technology is flowing right now, given another 30, 40 years, we might all be able to just upload our consciousness into a cloud when we're dying, and who knows? Crazy. But then you wouldn't, but that's the other counter argument though. Then you'd always want to know what would have actually happened if you didn't. And it's like this never ending cycle of like wanting to know for sure what happens when you die. It would just never go away. We're gonna get out of Black Mirror, and we're just gonna quickly go. Renfield, yeah, I gotta check it out. I would love to check that out. I love Nick Cage, Nicholas Hoult. Um, so everyone's saying hi to each other. White Christmas. I love White Christmas. Yes, that's the one I always recommend for introductions for people of Black Mirror. There's only a handful that aren't that great, and at best it's like there's still like a 65% out of 100, I'd say. Like there's none that I've ever been like that was horrible. At least it gets your brain working a little bit. Okay, so we're going to get out of Black Mirror and we're going to transition because there was kind of a little mini outrage a little bit. Oh my God, here we are again. I got to do this. There was a little bit of a mini outrage of the most recent episode of the Rehearsal season 2, which is so incredibly stupid. So we have to talk about it. Nathan Fielder, who is a comedic genius, we are on season 2 of the Rehearsal, which after the first season, we're like, well, how would they even do a second season? Well, he's doing it, and it is pretty great. Here we are. So he tries to make a point. Nathan Fielder's Jewish, and we all need to know this before. Otherwise, if everything I'm talking about is people are going to make me think that I'm like anti-Semitic or something, and I'm not. Of course not. I'm half Jewish. I'm not. However, the thing about this episode is he realizes an episode from his own series, Nathan For You, which was a totally different show years ago, was taken off of Paramount Plus because Paramount Plus Germany felt uncomfortable. And it's this whole thing of like he searched for on Paramount Plus Germany, or I think on Paramount Plus in general, like Judaism, and nothing came up. But there are like a bunch of like Hitler documentaries and things like that. But he's saying like, oh, his episode of Nathan For You, that it was trying to promote like awareness about the Holocaust, but he does it in like the worst way possible. And it's like very cringe, but it's hilarious. And again, he is trying to make a point about things. They removed it. And then he shows this map of Paramount. I got to get this bigger up, larger. Bigger up. Who talks like that? That's stupid. He takes this map and he shows Germany with like its little Paramount Plus logo on top of it, and he's like, and then it expanded, and Poland then got rid of my episode, and then France got rid of my episode, and it's honestly hilarious the way he did this. And it's like the entirety of Europe, European Paramount Plus got rid of this one episode of his because they found it to be too insensitive, and they related to anti-Semitism, which is not the case at all. But it is funny, and people kind of online were like freaking out about it. And I did see some others being like, dude, like, come on. Like, to me, if you were offended by this, you would be offended by like Mel Brooks as The Producers, where they, it's a parody and it's like Springtime for Hitler is a song in the musical. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's like people trying to make points that are smart, but also bring in a lot of comedy with them. And that's fine, especially when who it's coming from. So I don't know if you guys have checked that out. I'm going to check the chat really quick. But it's honestly just so smart. Apple's Dark Matter. Oh yeah, that's like, yeah, the cloud and stuff. Yeah. Oh, the series, the Dark Matter series. Yeah. I gotta check that out. I've heard it's really good. Julia says, Nathan For You is one of my favorite Comedy Central shows. Then you'd love The Rehearsal. My goodness. Nathan For You had a brilliant episode about Jewish clothing. This is it. This is so it. Yeah, I'm pretty positive this is the one where it's like trying to spread Holocaust awareness. This is exactly what it was. I've had Nathan For You recommended to me. Oh, you will love it. He tries to help businesses out in the worst way possible, and they like go along with it even though they know the ideas are horrible. I think one of the ideas, actually, I think it was for Starbucks, but it was like almost like redoing, like making a coffee shop that looked exactly like Starbucks, or it was something involving Starbucks. It was a long time ago, and it actually picked up national news, and they thought it was real, and it's hilarious. Bigger Up is so hot right now. I don't know what that is. Summit Ice. Yeah. Summit Ice was the brand. So the one that the Doolies were talking about. Yeah. So there's other stuff going on because in this season, but this is one of the things that was pointed out within it, and it is always like, it is always Nathan Fielder kind of learning about himself in a different way. And yes, thank you. Parody Law Starbucks coffee spot called Dumpster. Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for pointing that one out. So yeah, so the rehearsal is always, it starts off one way, and then by the end, at least as far as season 1 went, I feel like that's what's happening now. It touches on so many different topics, puts people in like really fascinating situations, but at the end of the day, it's always Nathan trying to figure something out. Like he is kind of a narcissist as like the character he's portraying on the rehearsal, because he sets everything up to make his own life like feel better or like learn more about himself. Like even dealing with the Paramount thing, he like shows someone the emails he messaged to Paramount, and he has someone pretending to be him. He's like, okay, so like type it out and then like read their response and like type what I wrote. And he's like, I thought I was being so aggressive. And the guy is like, it doesn't seem aggressive at all. Like it seems like fine. You're just checking up on why they got rid of your episode. And it's like everything he does is around him is this crazy tool to get to another point of view and to also just make himself feel better. So it's great. It's so good. Hey, Wilkie, how's it going? He also faked the video of the zoo animals saving each other that got picked up. Oh my God, yes, I remember that. Yeah, it's so good. It's such genius television. I can't get over it. Okay, so I know a lot of people watch the show, so I just had to touch on it just briefly. We're gonna end on nothing TV related. It's more current. I saw this and I have not seen Thunderbolts yet, and I have not seen Captain America yet. So we're going to just get your opinion on this. This is someone who ranked Phase 5, which started off, I can't believe it's taken so long to finish Phase 5. I believe this makes sense, though. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 would have been the beginning of Phase 5. Or I guess not the beginning, but they're just not listed in here, right? Like, I don't know. I should have researched this beforehand, but I saw this list and it was interesting. Love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think to me, it was so well made. I love, a lot of stuff that happens outside of Rocket's storyline. I get why people don't love it. I'm not saying that stuff's perfect, but the stuff that they did with Rocket's storyline is perfect, and he's pretty much the main character in that movie. So I'm just going to say I absolutely loved it, and I agree with it being number 1. Deadpool and Wolverine, I haven't rewatched it yet. I had a great time in the movie theater, but I feel like I've heard on a rewatch it's not as like, oh my God, it's great. So, and then Thunderbolts being number 3 is very interesting. Captain America Brave New World, I haven't seen it. And then I absolutely despised Quantumania and the Marvels. Like I absolutely hated those movies. I don't know which one I hate more. I think the Marvels probably pisses me off more because it's supposed to be like the girl-centric one, and it felt like just such pandering to women and like, oh, there's girls now, you're gonna like it as a female. It's like, no, it was horrible. They made a joke out of female superheroes. Could have been like, you can still have fun. Again, I've said this. It should have been like Charlie's Angels, but like serious, or even have, if you want to have sense of humor with these characters, you could have done a Charlie's Angels type of thing. If you're gonna have these 3 girls team up, I thought it was absolutely horrible. What do you guys think about this ranking? Let me see here in the chat. I think word of mouth is going to help Thunderbolts a lot. I definitely agree with that. I mean, people are getting me excited about it, and I it's not that I didn't want to. I do love the cast a lot, so it's not like it would be hard to get me to go see it in the theater. But I'm excited now that I've heard some pretty positive things. Haven't seen any of these, so I have no opinion to share. Well, that's okay, David. That's totally okay. I sometimes I watch streams too where I haven't seen anything. I mean, it's happening a lot recently because I haven't seen a lot of the films in theaters recently. When I used to go like 2 or 3 times a week to the movie theater, so I totally get it. GFE Hostman, hey, I thought seeing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine was cool. Oh yes, I'm not saying I didn't like Deadpool and Wolverine. I had a great time. I loved. There was a party element to it, 100%. I just keep hearing on hindsight, if you rewatch it a couple times, it gets old pretty quickly. But I don't know. I didn't do that yet. So I could watch it a second time and be like, it was better than I imagined it was, or, so we'll see what happens. Pretty fair ranking, to be honest. I think so too. Some people might not think Volume 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is better than Deadpool and Wolverine, but I think that it kind of deserves to be above it just because it is ending a trilogy. It's just consistent with the characters that it's speaking of. Deadpool and Wolverine, a lot of it was just, shitting on Disney, which they needed to do in a great way, and I love that they did that. But it was kind of more of a gimmick for Deadpool and Wolverine, where I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy was just like, let's just end it the right way. So I think Deadpool 3 obviously would have been one. Deadpool 3 would have been. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So you would have put that above Guardians of the Galaxy. That's fair. A lot of people feel that way, I'm sure. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining. We're doing a quick stream today, but if you are having a wonderful Friday, I hope it continues and have a great weekend. It is hot in New York. Oh my goodness, it is like really warm. And I'm going to plug this again. Netflix finally has the movie Past Lives, which was the best movie of 2023. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. You don't have to leave your apartment. You can just watch it at home, and it's brilliant. I'll see you guys next week. And thanks so much for joining. And cheers.